All right, thanks for joining me here. We're going to go over the principles behind the compensation plan of Isagenix that has produced in a few months here, it'll be $10 million that me and my wife have been paid, which has profoundly changed our lives. But the biggest change was when we were making an extra $500 a month. I was working 16, 18 hours a day. I had a paper route. We were still behind on bills. My kids were growing. They needed new clothes. And, we were shopping at Goodwill and we were, waiting for hand-me-downs from cousins. And we were still struggling. And I was working really hard. And it's not about working hard. It's about being smart. And so I want to teach some principles that I learned probably over 6 months, doing a lot of study, sitting through seminars and through trainings and reading the books and listening to audios and writing it out and really trying to understand the principle of what was being taught. And I want to try to condense that down into 2 slides and for your benefit to kind of speed that process up. Most people will never have the time or take the time to do what I did in studying and the mentorship that I had and the people that were leading me in the right directions on the things to study as well. All of that was a very profound part of me getting to where I got in my understanding. And what do we say? The planets were aligned just right for me to be able to really truly understand the bigger picture and the principles. And so I want to try and convey that to you here and shorten that up and give you the opportunity. So you may need to watch this 2 or 3 times, because after you watch it the first time, you'll have learned something at the end that you didn't know at the beginning, and you forgot what it was at the beginning. So as you go through it again, you pick up these other little nuances that you missed the first time through. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump right into it. One of the things that I was shown in a training was the penny being doubled for 30 days. And I had never seen this prior to being introduced to Isagenix. A lot of you have been in this industry or may have seen this before. But what the penny being doubled for 30 days shows the principle behind the compounding effect. And the compounding effect, some people refer to that as the 8th wonder of the world. When you can generate money, when your money can compound, it would generate wealth, like more money than you need. And so banks use it, credit cards use it, compounding interest, your mortgage is compounding. And so that's why banks and credit cards have so much money. Think about the mailers. I get mailers every day, multiple mailers, literally every day. There are lots of pages in that little envelope and they're in color. That's not cheap. How do they afford to send that out to everybody every day? It's through the compounding that they're making off of each person. It's a little bit, but it's compounding off of each person. So this penny being doubled for 30 days kind of shows that. If I was to give you, let's say, $2.5 million in a briefcase, and I held it out, opened the briefcase, there's $2.5 million. That you can have this $2.5 million, no strings attached. You can buy whatever you want with it, or you can wait and I'll give you a penny, double it every day for 30 days. The unsuspecting person is going to say, I'm going to take the $2.5 million. Are you kidding me? What's a penny going to be in 30 days? Their mind can't comprehend it because they don't really understand it. And so let's just show what that penny will be in 30 days. By day 15, it's only $163. Now that's quite a bit. It was only a penny 15 days ago, but that is compounding, which is just as profound as the next 15 days I'm going to show you. But it doesn't seem like a whole lot compared to $2.5 million. But that compounding effect continues on. At day 20, we're at $5,000. At day 25, we're at $167,000, nowhere near $2.5 million that you just got in the briefcase if you chose that. But if you just wait it out for those 30 days, over the next 5 days, we doubled that 2.5. It's 5.3 million. So the compounding effect really shows up in that last number, but that's what the penny was able to produce through that compounding effect. And it didn't change. The math didn't all of a sudden change. And I'll show you how that works with our comp plan and that math behind it. So if we were to take that same compounding effect, the compound of the power of 2, which is what we just did with that penny, is just each time it's times 2. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. So that math right there does not change at all. math is immutable and times 2 is always going to be the same, whether it's here or on that 29th day. So 16 people, if they shared it with 2, that would be 32 people. So that penny right here, the company, 6%, that doesn't change either. That's math, right? 6% is always going to be 6%. So if I took a qualified order, which the Forever Pack is, let me see what the qualified order is called 100 BV. That stands for business volume. Now we know that the Forever Pack, it cost $169, but that's still a lot cheaper, a lot less expensive than this meal right here for the month, right? It was like $315 compared to $169. And that's a qualified order. So I'll explain as we go along what a qualified order means, but it means right now that you don't have to buy anything else from Isagenix. You will get paid 6% on all of the products that get ordered by every person that come in after you. Every time they order products, you're going to get paid 6%. So 6% doesn't change, and times 2 doesn't change. And a qualified order hasn't changed in 19 years that the company's been around. So the Forever Pack is more than 100 BV. The 4 packs of collagen is more than 100 BV. You could use one single product every day and qualify for 6% on everybody that comes in after you. So I actually replaced my income right here as a mechanic on this 8th level. The 6% that I was getting paid on all of these people right here that came in after me was as much as I was making as a mechanic. It was just over $2,000 a month. So, but I wasn't selling any product. I wasn't doing any labor. Like as a mechanic, I had to show up and I had to fix cars in order to turn my time into money. My money's working for me here. It's working smart, not hard. And it's letting my money work for me. How's my money working for me? Well, I chose to redirect a portion of my grocery budget into Isagenix's groceries. And when I share with 2 people, Isagenix pays me 6% on everybody that comes in afterwards. So the only effort that I have to make is information. This is the day of information, right? This is the information age. So all I'm doing is giving people some information. It didn't cost me anything. And as this starts to generate, it's my money that's working for me in that I'm ordering the qualified order. That's the only thing that's working at this point to replace my income at work. Was my money was working for me, because as they order that product and when they're on auto ship and they order it every month, I'm now getting paid what I used to get paid as a mechanic, but I'm not doing the labor anymore. What's working for me? My money. How? I'm buying my Forever Pack. It qualifies me for 6% on everybody that comes in after me. You guys get that? So I wasn't, there's 3 things that are happening there. One is I'm putting my money to work for me, which is called leverage. And 2, it's passive because people are getting the products from the company, not me. They just happen to be in my group, my organization. They came in after me in my group. And then it's residual because you're going to consume it and then you run out. So that means they're going to order more. So do you guys get that? I replaced my income right there in the power of 2. Now, all we're doing is helping the company to move more products. And every time they move a product, there's already calculated in there an amount of money that they're going to pay out. In traditional, it would be advertising fees. Big companies spend millions of dollars every month, every week, for some of these big companies on advertising. So factored into the product is an advertising fee. Well, they're not advertising in a traditional way. They're advertising through me, right? And they're willing to pay me on everybody, not on just the first 5, 6, 7 levels. If that was the case, then these people wouldn't help for me at all. But in Isagenix, that's not how it works. They pay you on everybody, every level. So just to recap here, I'm using a product that I find value in, and I believe that other people will find value in it as well. And so I got to educate them and get them to see that value before they put the product in their body. And so if I can find 2 people that will get on the Zoom or watch the video and they find value in it and they order it, now I'm a consultant. and a consultant gets paid 6% on everybody every time they order. So that doesn't change. The 6% doesn't change. What can change is that these two people that I just sponsored could actually share it with two people. That's what could change. The 6% doesn't change. So I'm getting 6% on their volume of products that they order. And now I'm going to get, what changes is I get paid on these four people's product orders. How much? 6%. So let's throw them in there. We're not talking about pennies. We're talking about people ordering the product. And they don't have to do the business. Now, these two people are, and maybe they're doing the business on a casual level. Maybe they're really serious about it. But maybe these four are just customers. But even customers, I get paid 6% on everybody. There's no specific person, everybody, all the time. And so now these two people are going to get paid off of their orders. But accumulatively, I'm getting paid on all six people's. That's how I made $10 million. Well, coming up on $10 million. So the power of two, you can use that in your life. That's a principle. Now you got to put yourself in alignment with that principle. How do you do that? Share with two people. You'll get the same consequence I did. It's infallible. It has to work for everybody. Until it doesn't work for anybody, it's infallible. Well, it works for everybody every time. Every time they share with two, they're going to start getting paid 6%. Now they got to make sure that they're ordering a qualified order. Forever Pack, 4 boxes of collagen. When you choose the products that equal 100 BV, but that doesn't change. And every time somebody does those two things, they start getting paid. It's not. There's no discretion. There's no exclusion. It's equal to everybody because it's a principle and it doesn't change. And the 6% is what they're paying out. That's the commission. That doesn't change. 6% is 6%. It'll always be 6%. You guys see how that works? So if those people continue to share, I just got a huge pay raise. Because 6% doesn't change. And I'm still qualified to get paid on everyone. So when those people come in, not even through my effort, I just got a pay raise. And that can just continue on. At this level right here, I was making over $50,000 a month. Over $50,000 a month. Are you kidding me? That's over $13,000 a week. And it doesn't change for anybody. If you follow that process, it'll do the same thing for you. Why? Because we're talking about math here. The only variable is the individuals that we, want to introduce to it. That's the only variable. But there are people who are committed to anything. I mean, what I mean by that is some people like rock and roll, some people like disco, some people like, classical music, and they're committed to it. You're always going to find somebody who's committed. There's not a lack of people who would commit that wouldn't commit to this. So that variable is even taken care of in the principle of, numbers. Every salesperson knows that. Somebody will be committed. Just need to keep telling them until I find the committed person. And after a certain point, it's out of your hands. People are going to be sharing with other people who are looking for committed people. And that's the movement, and that's how we created now. It's 361 millionaires from customers who saw this on one level or another. They saw this. And I knew that I was going to be financially free for me and my family when I understood this. It took some time for me to really understand it and then know 100%. No, it didn't take faith anymore. It was knowledge. Faith is a hope. There wasn't a hope in this for me when I got it. It was the principle. Just like I don't have faith or hope in the law of gravity. I have a knowledge in the law of gravity. Faith is doing something that you don't know, right? It's kind of like you have hope in the unseen. I got a knowledge on this. Just like I have with gravity. And when you can get there, we call it psychologically unemployable. You'll just keep sharing with people until this happens for you. So me and my wife are the 69th millionaires. We're still producing new millionaires. They just announced the 361st millionaire yesterday. We still have a long ways to go. We'll have over 1,000 millionaires easily. We'll hit 2,000 millionaires someday because the numbers of people would have to do that. It would have to generate those as the number of people who join Isagenix, they would have to produce millionaires. There's no way it couldn't. It has to produce more and more millionaires. And we're a long ways from every household using Isagenix. We're maybe in 1%. So it's about abundance. And there's a principle to abundance. There's not a principle to lack. Lack is breaking the principles of abundance, not knowing them, not making the decisions to put our life in alignment with them. That's a decision. Most people don't know that they have that decision, but that's why we're here. That's why I'm doing this recording. Abundance is a principle. You follow that, and you teach other people to follow that, you have to have abundance in your life. And you're following a principle of math, all of this is math, really. I mean, yeah, this is about individuals and how we feel and how we're emotionally grateful for what we feel because of this. But all of this is math right here. And you cannot refute math. Math works for everybody, whether they believe in it or not, whether they know it or not. Math always works 100% all the time, every time. So, all right. So hopefully that makes sense. So you have to believe in the process, because it's belief that gets us into action. Doubt and fear breeds inaction. Or I could say inaction breeds doubt and fear. It goes both ways. It's a vicious cycle. But belief puts people into actions. Diane totally believes. She's in a high level of action. Why? Because she believes. All right. So again, the products are not under trial. There's our 100-pound wall of fame. My own personal results. Products are not under trial. We have the clinicals, we have the compensation plan, and the millionaires behind it. And we're just getting started. And so get back with the person that got you here. That'll help you to get tapped into this and the training that we do and the dynamics of all of this, and personal development. Leadership development is so important. To continue to increase the numbers in your organization takes a leader to cause that to happen. Really cast the vision, help other people to see the vision, opt into it, and have that aha moment. Well, that's going to take leadership, and we all need to develop on that. But that's something that's eternal. That's something that you get to take with you. Everything you learn and experience and acquire as a skill, as a talent, is a part of you, can never be taken away from you. And this life is not the only life. Those things will be a benefit as we transition into the next phase. So I look at this as bringing heaven to earth, because abundance, that's what that produces, that feeling that we associate with heaven, everything that's good. Abundance does that. And I want that for everybody. And I'm going to be on that. I partnered up with God, because this is all principle based. If I'm promoting the principles, which are light and truth, who am I partnered up with? Right? And we all can. And it changes, our outlook on life. It changes our enthusiasm, and it changes why we get up in the morning, and just makes things so much better. So with that, hopefully you had your aha moment here. If not, go back and watch it until you do, until you do. And then let's work on this together and expand heaven on earth. All right.